Stop scrolling. Two architects just walked onto the same canvas. Luka Modrić in red, Croatia's heartbeat in checkered armor, and Kevin De Bruyne in electric orange-tinged gold, the North Star of passing lanes. And tonight the pitch feels too small for the ideas crowding their boots. The whistle is a light switch, and Modrić is already gliding into half spaces like a violinist tuning the room. First touch cushioning the ball into silence, head on a swivel counting shadows, while De Bruyne, chin up and shoulders ironed into intent, draws invisible arrows no one else can see until the ball obeys. You can map this duel in details. Modric's outside of the boot whisper that turns a square meter into a runway, De Bruyne's thunderbolt diagonals that rip through defensive geometry like a can opener, Modrić feinting pressure into smoke, De Bruyne turning transition into a sentence that ends in an exclamation point. Frame 1. Croatia break the press, and the red swish of Modric's kit tilts into a sprint that's actually a study in restraint. 3 touches to lure, a pause to invite. Then the Trivela, curving around time, arrives on a winger's stride like it had the address days ago. Cut to De Bruyne lowering the lens, collecting a bouncing clearance with a sole stud break, body opening to the far flank, and then that signature whip, half cross, half threat, scything the corridor of uncertainty so viciously that even the far post camera flinches. Listen to the midfield. Boots tap, breaths pattern. The metronome is Modric's uptake and De Bruyne's downbeat. One compressing space to create safety, the other exploding it to create danger. And each pass is an argument about beauty. Luka says balance, Kevin says bravery, and the match nods to both. Modrić at 30-something is a time traveler. Half step ahead because he already lived this moment 100 Tuesdays in training, dragging the game to his tempo with body angles that teach high school geometry, then snapping a no-look slip between a center-back's doubts. De Bruyne replies with volume. A 1-2 at full gallop, inside cut, laces through leather, the net bracing for impact like a drum. When Croatia need calm, Modrić becomes a librarian of chaos, shelving mistakes, cataloging exits, ushering teammates into safer sentences. When Belgium, or club colors you know by muscle memory, need menace, De Bruyne becomes a storm forecaster who brings the weather he predicts, accelerating patterns until backlines breathe wrong. Freeze the close-up. Modric's eyes aren't just scanning. They're listening, sensing footfall, reading hips, eavesdropping on intent, while De Bruyne's first touch is a thesis, and the second is the proof. And somewhere a fullback prays for rain or mercy or both. On corners, Modrić paints arcs with a calligrapher's wrist, the ball bowing politely before dipping with mischief. On free kicks, De Bruyne hits a channel only satellites hear, the ball yowling mid-flight before snapping into obedience at the far stick. Watch Luka ride a tackle like a surfer, studs kissing turf, then pirouette away as if the pitch tilted to help him, crowd exhaling as the red shirt steadies the room. Watch Kevin break a line with a pass that should require customs paperwork. Then ghost into the D to receive a backheel he predicted 2 touches ago, lashing a shot that leaves a vapor trail on its way to the side net. The camera finds Modrić again, palms open, orchestra cue. Switching play not because it's available but because it's necessary, folding 4 defenders into irrelevance. The camera swings to De Bruyne, eyebrows set, throttle open, hitting a flat laser that turns the 6-yard box into a courtroom where keepers plead for reasonable doubt. And still there are the tiny miracles. Luka's ankle locking mid-stride to send a 5-yard vertical bounce that defeats pressing triggers. Kevin's toe-poked through ball that hops over a tackle like a fox over a fence. Luka's heel roll escape against the touchline that buys a second for an overlapping fullback. Kevin's blindside arrival to collect cutbacks because he memorized the GPS of chaos. In red, Modrić is a museum of right choices. Every touch a conservation effort preserving possession. Every glance a grant awarded to possibility. In blaze, De Bruyne is the grant's return on investment. Dividends paid as chances, chances reinvested as goals. The duel becomes duet. Modrić slows a counter with a velvet foul that costs a yellow but saves a chapter. De Bruyne restarts time with a 30-yard runner that makes time jealous. Luka's celebration is a smile that knows it solved a riddle. Kevin's is a roar that knows it built a rocket. 90 minutes become elastic around them, heavy when they want defenders to feel lead in their boots, light when they set teammates loose like kites. And when fatigue starts stealing vowels from lesser players' passes, Modric's consonants stay crisp, TKP, small hard sounds that move the ball like Morse code. While De Bruyne adds exclamation marks until punctuation floods the scoreboard. Last act, a broken play, bodies in knots, whistles on lips. And Modrić in red glides into the wreckage as a first responder with elegance for oxygen, towing the ball out of panic's radius and sliding a no-look square to the only human brave enough to ask for it. De Bruyne. Of course, who doesn't trap so much as tame, sets his plant, and detonates a curler that kisses crossbar and nestles history. It's handshakes after sirens, mutual nods from men who make complexity look kind, the crowd applauding not a color, but a craft. And if you stayed to the last frame, you felt the secret both carry. Football isn't sprints and shots. It's questions and answers. And Luka Modrić in red is the calm question that rescues a game from noise, while Kevin De Bruyne is the loud, perfect answer that turns a game into a memory you will spend all week replaying.